Y'all been shopping at HHH Craig? Y'all shopping at HHH Craig? Panasonic Blu-ray $99. LG 42-inch CCTV $299. LG 42-inch HDTV $489. Everything's on sale here in Christmason. I love this song. Hey! Is this Militia from the Egg Sandwich? No, it's redoing. That's what it is. Hey everybody, it's TF2. Passionate Gamer here. How are we doing today? Tyler, did you see the rumor that Judas is getting into the trailer today? No, I was actually unaware that there was a Sony State of Play today at 5 p.m. Eastern. I have a doctor's appointment at 4:30, so sorry, not gonna be able to react to that. So, how is everybody doing today? How are y'all doing today? It's another month in the bag, another month in the can. January 2024 is over as of tomorrow. I'm currently sitting here, real talk, waiting for my Steam Deck OLED to get delivered. It's here today. It's out for delivery right now. And if it gets delivered during the stream, we'll do an unboxing on stream. But there's a very interesting story as to how I was able to get a Steam Deck OLED without spending any money. effectively got it for free, that one. Pretty cool stuff. Anyways, gotta teach a class at 5. We'll be done by 5. I have a doctor's appointment at 4:30. Looking good, thank you. Yesterday was my 70th day at the gym. 70 days. I've been going to the gym 3 to 5 days a week since October. I've lost a good chunk of weight. Music is a little bit loud. Let me just turn that down. If you have any questions, we're going to do email. We've done it the same way for a while. Music is loud. I just turned it down a bit. Let me check the levels. We should be fine. But yeah, 70 days at the gym. If you want to send a question, tylernewsnetwork@gmail.com. Why is there a plate on the floor? That is my cat's wet food. There is a plate right there that first thing I did this morning when I woke up was went to the grocery store because we were out of cat food, and I got, you know, I got some cat food and fed the cats. We have to feed the cats separately. But yeah, that's why that plate is there. That's Kitty's wet food. So thank you for asking. Is the plate on the floor a hint for Neon Prime? I don't know, is it? If you can derive some information from that, maybe that's the point. Anywho, let's jump right into some of these questions. Remember, if you have a question... Oh, Electra has been spotted. Okay.
The plate was obviously bothering people.
Yeah. Hello. Play a song again, full volume. No. If you have a question, tylernewsnetwork@gmail.com. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions about TF2, I do recommend you watch the video that I put up literally 2 hours ago. And then come back and ask some questions. But if you have a question, again, tylernewsnetwork@gmail.com. And, oh, that's a really well thought out. That's probably not for this. Somebody sent a really well thought out. Oh, it probably is. Okay, hold on. Where do these start? Where do these start? Here. Okay. Hello, everybody. The bots are horrible in Australia at the moment, or they're horrible in North America at the moment. They're very easy to run. They're very easy to host, apparently. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. All right. So, let's get started. Let me know if you want music or not. We have the music off for now. Maybe you want to listen to your own music. Who knows? This one is from... Oh, right. I don't read the names from the people that send the messages. £5 sterling, British pounds, from Collision. Hey, Tyler, reports say that Half-Life 2 began development in June of 1999, so I wonder what happened during the period November 98 to June of 99 regarding Half-Life 2. Well, if Half-Life 2 began development in June of 99, odds are very little started. However, I've spoken to a person that was at Valve at that time. That's Brett Johnson. And he said that almost immediately people started trying to come up with ideas for Half-Life 2. So, I mean, I don't know what report you're saying specifically. What June of 99 is when Half-Life 2 started development. However, I do know that Brett specifically started work on Team Fortress 2 at that time called Brotherhood of Arms. And Half-Life 2, I mean... I've heard that people were discussing ideas for a sequel, a follow-up to Half-Life before Half-Life 1 even came out, you know, so I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint when games like that start development, especially when a company is so young, you know, and there aren't really that many, like, you know, set-in-stone ideas. And Valve really isn't a set-in-stone kind of company even to this day, but... What's going on at that time for Half-Life 2? It's literally just people throwing ideas at the wall, seeing what sticks, working on an engine. Like, in 99, the idea of, okay, well, now we're going to take the Half-Life 1 engine and make it better has started, but exactly what direction they're taking it in, what feature set they're going to put in with it, that's undecided at that time. So it's tough to be able to pinpoint exactly what was going on in relation to the game without talking to the people that were actually there. And I've spoken to Brett Johnson specifically, yes, but Brett wasn't really interested in immediately starting Half-Life 2 because of the burnout from Half-Life 1, and so Brett was more interested in working on Team Fortress 2, and apparently Brett prototyped a whole bunch of stuff related to Team Fortress 2, but then left the company to work on Dungeon Siege at Gas Powered Games. All right, here's the first email. Remember, if you have a question, best way to send it is through email, tylernewsnetwork@gmail.com. But if you just don't want to wait and you want your question answered now, Super Chat is the way to go, like Collision or Collodian just did. Thank you so much for the £5 sterling. Appreciate it. Is that what you call it? What's a shilling? What's a pent? Hello, Tyler. What are your thoughts on Mega Scatterbomb, his anti-cheat efforts, and the recent large bot wave that started in response? So Mega Scatterbomb, New Zealand native, as far as I know. He's the guy with the kiwi and kiwi bird on a white background profile picture. I was going to make a video with Mega Scatterbomb, and then I didn't follow through on it. I was going to do an interview with him, and I didn't follow through on that. What do I think of it? I think it's an excellent effort. It might be an effort that goes in vain due to how apathetic Valve is to everything. But I would say that it's great. It's very smart what this person is doing, trying to do. It's very much like, instead of just trying to sit and complain about something, okay, well, let's see what I can do about it. And you might not be able to do a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but maybe you can, and you're just trying your best. What do I think is I think he's trying to do so. I think his intentions are very good. I think he is definitely, I don't know the pronouns, they are definitely talented, and their heart's in the right place. I don't know if what they're doing has any currently perceivable effect due to the fact that bots are just so bad right now. And again, Valve seems very apathetic to it. But, more people, I do wish that more people would try and, instead of saying things, instead of just using words, actually try and use actions to fix issues and stuff, So that's that. That's what I think about Mega Scatterbomb. And if Mega Scatterbomb hears this, I'd still like to work with you. I should probably just DM you and see if we do something. Thank you for that email. Remember, I'm not going to be reading your names. I don't want to accidentally dox someone or dead name someone. So if you want me to read your name, make sure to say in the email, it's blank, and then I'll say hello to you. Okay. Does that make sense? Hey, this is... that's an ad. Okay. This is from Diamond Dylan, my good friend from Kansas City. Valve questions, do you think the second Save TF2 wave did anything? It did not. So the latest Save TF2 wave is not kind of getting the same kind of traction as the first one, and Valve usually only really acts when there's negative publicity attached to it. There's really only so much that the public is capable of doing without getting an IGN or a PC Gamer involved. And if you're very lucky, something like Wall Street Journal or something. So, Valve doesn't care until they start looking bad, not only in their hardcore audience, but in the general public. And that's how you get Valve responding to things. That's how you got Valve responding to the first thing. I mean, there's a theory that the reason we got the first time Save TF2 quote unquote worked and they responded on Twitter, that could have very likely been people showing up to Valve HQ in TF2 cosplay and running into Casey, and then Casey being like, well, of course we can do something, and then no one following in Casey's footsteps, because Casey's like an incredible PR and community manager kind of person and not a programmer, not an engineer. $4.99 from WizOps. Hey, Tyler, one question. Are there any other TF2 updates coming in the near future other than 64-bit? Yeah. There is another cosmetic update planned for late spring, early summer, as there always is. Usually, you get a case in the spring, you get an update in the summer, and an update in the fall for Scream Fortress, and then an update in the winter for Smithmas. That's still happening. So, like, there's no mystery to it. You don't have to. I appreciate the question, but you don't have to ask me, "Hey, what's next?" You know what's next. It's going to be a case of cosmetics. It's going to be maybe some skins, definitely some unusual effects, maybe some taunts, and some maps. That's all it's going to be until the end of time, it looks like. For as long as people are making things, Valve will continue pushing those types of updates. Currently, and to my knowledge, of course, which is incomplete, no one at Valve is working on content for Team Fortress 2. There are a handful of people working on engine level things, and that's what you're seeing with the 64-bit update and like the little bug fixes and performance enhancements and things. But that's pretty much it. You're going to be getting interesting ideas being pumped out from the community, utilizing the V-scripting system in order to, create things outside the realm of TF2's own native libraries. And that's just how it is. That's how it is. Tyler, why is the heavy weapons guy so hot? Please, Tyler, why did Valve make that man so hot? I can't function properly after witnessing Meet the Heavy. Why did they make him like that, Tyler? Why? So that comes from my Discord server administrator, Liam Blasco. And I think Valve did that because they themselves were horny. I think I have that on good authority. I think Robin Walker was just horny that day. All right. Next question from Diamond Dylan, my favorite Minecraft YouTuber. A few weeks back, I sent you a private SteamDB branch that found to be updated alongside TF2 for the last 2 years. Any idea what this is? Yes, it's the 64-bit branch. But it's the private version of it. So there's been a branch. So there's a public beta branch of the 64-bit Linux build of Team Fortress 2. This is the push for 64-bit across the board for all players, which will introduce a lot of good things. There's always been an upcoming branch internally at Valve, and that's what this is. That's where they push a lot of these fixes that have yet to be properly regression tested or things like that. So, yes, what is that? It is what we're finally getting, but the private version that's been worked on for a very long time. Do you expect Valve to do something big for the 20th anniversary of Half-Life 2? Yes. Will we continue to see DMCAs coming from Valve? Yes. They have started the precedent. They are going to protect their IP. id questions. Cat seems out of the bag that id and Microsoft are publicly teasing Quake 6. Is this a reboot or something new in the series? I have it on good authority that shit was just a joke. I don't think that's real. I think somebody at Machine Games was joking around. And here's why I know that. Microsoft would have stopped it from happening. Do you guys really think that is how Microsoft is trying to tease their upcoming game? Really? First of all, id Software isn't working on Quake. id Software is not working on a Quake game. How many times do I have to say this? It's not Quake. Their next game isn't Quake. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. How many times do I have to tell you this? id Software, using Microsoft in collaboration with Sega, is working on a dark and gritty Sonic the Hedgehog game. The internal codename for it is Sonic with a Gun. I have said this so much. How many times do I have to tell you this? They're not working on Quake. It was a joke from somebody at Machine Games because id is not working on a Quake game. They are working on a Sonic the Hedgehog game. Okay? Jeez. How many times do I have to tell you that? You can quote me on that. id Software is working on a Sonic the Hedgehog game. Okay. Do you plan on letting off Steam where you interview people? Yes and no. It depends. You mentioned you were trying to get an interview with Coldplay / Chris Martin. How's that going? It's not going anywhere, and I have no leads. Coldplay is my favorite band, and Chris Martin is a personal hero of mine. I'd love to speak to him and be like, yo, why'd you make this song, but not this song? Can I repeat it one more time? Yes. id Software is not working on Quake. They are not working on Doom. They are not working on Wolfenstein. They are working on a Sonic the Hedgehog game. You can quote me on that. You can ask Hugo Martin for a quote. I'm sure he'll let you. You can have that exclusive. Run it, IGN. id Software reportedly working on Sonic the Hedgehog. Hello, Tyler. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. Some time ago, Valve had a few comic book / writers, authors and writers, somebody to name a few. They created Portal Lab Rat, and if I'm not mistaken, the TF2 comics. Do they still work at Valve? Andrea Wuckland does not still work at Valve, no. I don't know about these other two. Andrea Wuckland left 2013. It was a while ago. I'll just do a quick Google search for you. Michael Oeming. Are they still at Valve Software? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say no. Probably not. Michael Oeming was removed from Valve's people list in 2012. So that person left over 12 years ago. Ted Kosmatka. They apparently worked on Dota 2. Did they work on anything lately? Ted might still be there. Let's see. Ted is not still there. No, Ted is not at Valve anymore. Let's see. Can I find your... No, they're not. No, none of those people are still at Valve. Do you know what they're up to nowadays? I don't, because they're not at Valve. Also, what are your thoughts on the Portal Lab Rat comic? Would you play a Doug Ratman-centered Portal game? What do I think of the comic? Excellent. Incredible. Very good for the deep lore of Portal. Would I play a Ratman-centered game? Yes. Imagine. Let's just step back and imagine an immersive sim taking place entirely in the behind the scenes of Aperture, where you, the Ratman, are trying desperately to shut down GLaDOS and hide from her. It's like a Dishonored kind of game, but you're hiding from GLaDOS the whole time and exploring all of Aperture Science in order to be able to survive. Of course I would. It's a part survival game, but it's a survival game set entirely within a science facility where you have to somehow scrounge for food. Tyler, there's a spike. I think the journalists are there. Okay, now that the bit is over, I know nothing about the Quake thing. However, Hugo Martin, game director at id Software, and I are good friends. And he and I text all the time, which is why I can't actually answer any id Software stuff because it's super biased. It's like so biased. However, Hugo and I have a bet that I can somehow trick someone into writing an article about Sonic with a gun. And so if someone ends up writing that article, I win the bet. So that's what that's about. Okay, thank you for that question. I appreciate it. Honest opinion, do you think the franchise of the Portal racing screw off? I lost the bet by explaining it. Nah. See, what's going to happen is somebody's going to clip what I just said without the full context, because I've been in this game. I've been doing YouTube. I've been doing this for since 2007. So how long? I've been doing this channel since 2011. That's 13 years. I've been doing YouTube since 2007. That's 17 years? 10 R dollars. Have you been watching True Detective 4? I don't know what that is. Thank you for 10 of your R dollars. No, so what I'm trying to say is people never check full context of anything, ever. If you just say the one thing and then give it time on both ends, no one will know. There have been so many times where I've gotten in trouble with stuff because the full context wasn't there. Remember when I killed Creators.tf? Right. Okay. Someone should ask for the entire meeting recording. Not just that little 30-second snippet that gets passed around all the time. Next question. Okay, this guy... 3-2-1 game time, you're my dude. 3-2-1 game time, you're my bro. Okay, so this bit was going to happen today regardless of if somebody asked me about Quake or whatever. So 3-2-1 game time sent me, hey Tyler, as a big Sonic fan for most of my life, I feel like I got to ask you the question. When do you think we'll finally see the release of Sonic with a gun? I trust that Hugo Martin and the rest of the team of id Software will do justice for the Sonic IP. Not only will Hugo and his team at id Software be able to take the high-octane power fantasy that is Doom Eternal and somehow transfer it into a third-person platformer with shooting mechanics, but they're also going to be adding significantly more lore into the Sonic universe. For example, Hugo and I were on the phone a while ago, and he learns that my fiance's name is Electra, Electra. That's her real name. And he immediately told me that there's going to be a new villain, Eggman-level villain, named after my future wife, Electra. So there's a lot going on with Sonic with a gun. So if you're at all a Sonic fan, id Software's upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog game, Sonic with a Gun, it's going to be your thing. You know. I think you'll like it. id Software's next game, probably released this year. You'll probably hear about it sometime over the summer. id Software's next game, Sonic with a Gun, coming 2024. Anyways. Thank you for that question. Made my day. Gmod for iOS beta. Have you heard about this? The leak that happened in 2012. I don't know if it's real or not. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it. There's some images here. Gmod for iOS. This looks fake. This looks fake. This looks very fake. I mean, I could just ask Gary. Somebody's asking, when you say Sonic, you don't actually mean Sonic, just Sonic inspired. No, I mean Sonic the Hedgehog, through and through. It is working directly with Sega. Yeah. Any information on what Valve is cooking for CS2's first major update? You're not going to be seeing one for a while. And also, Danger Zone is getting remade. The Counter-Strike, the HUD that I used today is called Mono HUD. The Counter-Strike 2 community is so TF2-like right now that I'm keeping my distance. My water bottle, it's shaped like a Scream canister. My mom bought me one of these new bracelets, but she somehow bought it in like a small, and it hurts my wrist to wear, so I'm just kind of waiting for it to stretch out a bit. Anywho, Sonic with a Gun. That is your worst bit by far, and despite that, someone will fall for it, and then I win a bet. And you know what happens when I win a bet? Hugo will finally send me the cut content materials from Doom Eternal for the video we've been working on for 3 years. So please, someone write about it like it's serious. Hello, got a question from one Tyler to another. A good while you mentioned the possibility of an official third-party material in the Team Fortress universe. Is it safe to assume those ideas are dead in the water? They are not dead in the water. However, the game that is in development, it's called Team Deathmatch Classic, is still in development. However, lately, because of another game, they pulled back the overt TF2-ness of that game. So there's another game called Abiotic Factor, which is a like 4-player survival immersive sim thing. And that, when it was announced, was straight up Half-Life 1. It was down to the colors of things. It was Half-Life 1. Valve got in contact and said absolutely not. And they had to change some of the looks of things. So Team Deathmatch Classic apparently has had to do something similar. And for the longest time, it was straight up a TF2 spinoff with like Valve, I don't know. So that, however, Team Deathmatch Classic, the game that I'm talking about, it's been in development for so fucking long now. Like 6 years, 7 years, 2017, 28. It was, I first learned about TDC the day I streamed Hunt Down the Freeman, and that was early 2018. So it's been a long, long time, and I've not been able to play it once. So yeah, but that's what that is. There are other smaller things. They happen all the time. Third parties will utilize Valve's IPs, like Escape Factory had a Portal DLC. That kind of stuff happens all the time. And then, of course, you've got the community just kicking ass with it because of people like, forgot the name, the YouTuber that's like good friends with all the TF2 voice actors, and they just got like some unreleased spy material and then animated it. That was amazing, and it's cool that Valve's cool with that. Deathmatch Classic Refragged. That's a Deathmatch Classic remake in the Source engine that I actually have access to, and it's very, very good. It's a community project, though. Shork. That's right. Thank you. Oh, my God. Light Up Shoes for Kids wants to sponsor me. Why? In your honest opinion, what do you think of the franchise of Portal Racing games industry? In my opinion, I think Bridge Constructor Portal showed that they should have added carts. Right. Hey, Tyler, looking absolutely fabulous. 70 days at the gym so far, baby. In regards to the next Cyberpunk game, do you think we'll be able to import saves from 2077 like Witcher games? Well, maybe. It'd be really cool if that was the case. I will say, who knows? Like, that's the kind of thing that would probably be decided on very early on in development. But we're still very early on in development of Orion, and it's probably not something that they've decided. However, for those that don't know, if you import your Witcher 1 saves into Witcher 2, items transfer over, decisions transfer over. If you import your Witcher 2 save into Witcher 3, a whole bunch of stuff happens. You get some of the items, some characters show up or not, some characters respawn to you in certain ways. It's too bad that the Yorvith questline was cut, even though that turned into an early version of a expansion pack that was canceled and replaced with Hearthstone. It's a whole thing. Moosevelt with the $15. That's my GTA 6 trailer bets payout. So apparently I called some stuff in the GTA 6 trailer. There was last episode, somebody asked me how many cars there are going to be, how many trains there are going to be, how many planes there are going to be, and I guessed, and apparently I got some stuff right. Cool. Thanks for the $15. I'm not going to argue. Do you have any idea how expensive weddings are? I love that woman. I'm going to pay for a string quartet, I guess. Ugh. Do you think TF2 will ever be updated again, as in Valve actually making weapons and maps for the game? Valve making the content? It's always a possibility, right? So, to give you perspective, I've already talked about the TF2 news. It's already been talked about. It has happened. However, I do recommend that you go watch the video first and then ask your questions, because that involves some of it. Witcher 3 cut content video went. That'd be a great video. That'd be a good video. I don't know, because I'm already working on Cyberpunk 2077 cut content. As soon as I knew that they were done with updates, which apparently they aren't, they put out an update today with an interesting feature. They told me they were done and it was safe to make the mod list. They lied to me. But as for TF2, do I think Valve will be making content for the game? That's a complicated question, because in the short term, no, probably not. In the long term, yeah, probably. But I'm talking like within 20 years. So here's what happened. Former Valve employee, one of the original hires, Dario Casali, was at Valve starting in 96. Left Valve in 2023, I think. Dario is a very important person in the history of video games. They are responsible for Plutonia. Wait, no. They're which one from TNT are they? Not the Plutonia experiment, the other one. I'm forgetting names of everything. TNT is 2 campaigns. It's Plutonia and then the other one. He made one. He was part of Team TNT, and he and his brother made the other one. Final Doom. TNT Evolution and Plutonia. I'm talking about Plutonia. He made Plutonia. He did not make TNT. Even though he kind of did. He worked on the team. It's a whole thing. Doom history is very, very cool. Okay. Dario then was working on just a bunch of stuff with Team TNT. Got picked up by Gabe Newell at Valve Software and then started working on Half-Life. Dario Casali is responsible for a hell of a lot of level design on all of Valve's games, from Half-Life 1 all the way to Half-Life Alyx. Dario is responsible for many of the middle levels, forget about Freeman, that kind of stuff, and is also all the way up to being responsible to the final battle in the vault during Half-Life Alyx, with all like the zero-dimensional, the zero-gravity grenades and the Vortigaunt power stuff. He is the only reason Manpower exists. So in case you don't know about that, Manpower is a different take on Capture the Flag. I enjoy it quite a bit. It's a remake of a Quake mod called 3-Wave, where you had a grappling hook and it was a Capture the Flag mode, and you had different power-ups hidden all over the map, and each person could only pick up one power-up. Collodian, I initially thought the Sonic game was a joke, but you've asserted it so much now that I've started to believe it's real. I wouldn't put it past id Software. I can't tell if you're joking anymore. As I've said, id Software is not working on Doom, Quake, or Wolfenstein. id Software is working on a Sonic the Hedgehog game in collaboration with Sega, called, currently codenamed, it's not the name they'll release with, but it's codenamed Sonic with a Gun. Okay? There you go. He made Manpower and continued to work on Manpower. He just loved working on that project as like a side thing. And it just was put in the game just cause. No one else helped him with it. It just happened. Something like that could happen at any time. If a higher up or some people get together and they're like, let's do something, and then they will, sure. Nothing is planned. And if something like that were to happen, that doesn't mean, oh, the cycle has started again, yearly major content updates. It's how it is. It's a 17-year-old game now, or going on 17 years old. I'm very curious to the hardcore fan base of TF2. How old is okay to die for a video game? How long does a company have to continue working on a piece of software before the community is like, okay, we get it. It's been a very long time. We'll move on. How long? 40 years? 60 years? Would you want Robin Walker working on that game until he's dead? Hey, Tyler, looking great. Keep the gym going. I'm gonna. Let's start with the obvious shit. News on Neon Prime. Nothing since the last time we talked. I had to cancel an entire video. So I had a whole video. Finished. Done. Ready. It was uploading, and I canceled it to protect a source. So, yes, there's some news that is not currently public. Yes, there's some information that's not currently public. I'm working on figuring out a way to get that out there. But there is nothing new since then. Right? So... Any Deckard updates? None that I have. No. $4.99 from WizOps. Do you think Valve will do anything regarding the bot crisis? No. Will the 64-bit do anything against the bots? It'll make them more powerful. I'm not kidding. Thank you for the $5. What's id doing? Also, Phil Spencer was wearing a Hexen shirt. It's a possible hint on the FPS action shooter direction in the future. So... another question related to what id's doing. It is not working on Hexen. It is not working on Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein, none of it. It is currently working in collaboration with Sega with a Sonic the Hedgehog gritty reboot, platformer, third-person action shooter with the same kind of power fantasy that comes with something like Doom Eternal or Doom 2016, currently codenamed Sonic with a Gun. That's what they're working on. Half-Life 2 remaster possible this year? Well, the current remaster... So there are currently 2 remasters in development right now. There's the Half-Life RTX thing that NVIDIA is like looking over and using as an advertising vehicle, but not paying anybody who's working on it. And then there's the Half-Life 2 Remastered Collection. Yeah, the Half-Life 2 Remastered Collection is probably like on hiatus right now, because every time I try and reach out to Philip, who used to be very very talkative, they're not anymore. So let me check one more time if they got back to me. No, they did not. Yeah, it could literally be canceled. It could be on hold, but I have no info on it past what's public, past what I've talked about. All right. Talk about what you are currently excited for. All right. What am I currently excited for? $20 from Elisa Prokop. Boo Bear. You come here for a second. $10 from Mary. We'll get to your Mary. We have another one to take care of, and we'll get to you. Could you read this message? Who's it from and for how much?
It's from...
$5 from Lop and Jop. Thank you so much.
It's from Eliza Prokop. Tell me something to cheer me up. Old mean people are active today.
Does anybody ever wish death on a family member? Years ago, I had a joke. We were playing Prey 2017, one of my favorite games ever, and I did a bit where I kept saying, I'm praying for death. Praying for death. I'm just, pray. We're praying for death. And my mom called me worried because she thought I wasn't joking. And she goes, what's going on? I'm just praying for death. Dear Lord Jesus up above, baby Jesus, teenage Jesus, 33-year-old Jesus right about to have something traumatic happen, praying for death. And she was worried. Anyways, I'm praying for death, but not for me. Oh, Lord Jesus up above, we're praying for death. You ever have a really rude, mean, old family member that treats everybody really poorly, especially your mother? And your relationship with that person has deteriorated over the years because of the verbal abuse that you've seen transpire over the years. Oh, Lord Jesus, please send me a sign praying for death. So when my mom says old mean people are active today, that's what that means. And everybody, can we get some praying hand emojis in chat for my mama, please? My mom gave me $20 here, everybody. $10 from Mary. Hey, Tyler, has there been any TF2 cut content or canceled updates that no one publicly has seen? Yes. Many. A lot. Some pretty significant overhauls to MVM that were planned at one time. The early version of MVM called Raid, which was effectively reverse Left 4 Dead. There was a throwback update rumor for a while where it was going to be like an update that was like right after Jungle Inferno, where they're going to be like, okay, we're going to do like an old school update, like a 2007 kind of update, and that never went anywhere. There was a space update, as you know, but there was a lot made for it that didn't go anywhere. A few things. Those are the things off the top of my head. You see, fortunately, the Steam development repository leaked last year. And so a lot of the updates that were canceled and had good development in them, they're there. You can look at them. So like the tutorial update with the interactive like training course kind of thing, there's the and had its own associated achievements. Tug of War, short payload, There was a lot of interesting level 4 sentry, female characters. That kind of thing, yeah. Somebody said like OG season, basically. Yeah, kind of. It might, yeah. Then I guess it would have been like a disable cosmetics, only stock weapon kind of thing. Yeah, it's like the no build Fortnite season 1 kind of thing. Not no build. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you for the email. $5 from Lopin Jop. I gotta answer all these questions, brother. How do you know this id news? Because id Sonic sounds too good to be true. I have Hugo Martin, game director of id Software, in my phone. I'll call Hugo right... I'm not joking. I will call Hugo right now. He's probably not going to answer, but I will call him.
Hi, this is Hugo.
You got sent a voicemail.
He sent me to voicemail. He might be watching and being like, Tyler, shut the fuck up.
He's probably at work.
He's probably at id Software working on Sonic with a gun as we speak. Yeah. But yeah, id Software is working on a video game called Sonic with a Gun. It's codenamed Sonic with a Gun. Actually, I think I might have some key art I can show you. I have it archived somewhere. I was sent some concept art for Sonic with a Gun. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Yeah, so at this point it was called Sonic Doomed, which is cute. So here's id Software's take on Sonic the Hedgehog. PC Gamer, Kotaku, anybody, feel free to write about it if you want. Here's your exclusive. Yeah, Sonic with a gun. That's real. Judah, Nate. I'm not reading your name. $2. Sad to see the Davis X game has been canceled. Yeah, I know. Embracer, more like embrace my ass. And then $2 PLN from Heck Sack. You guys probably gonna text me and be like, "What the fuck was that?" Sorry, it was for a bit.
What?
Nothing. Hello. Not a question, just thanks for all the entertainment. Keep it up. Thank you. I feel like you deserve something fun. Did you guys know that I got a Quest 3 this month? I had it bought for me by a video game company. This shit fire. This, of course, is the Bobo VR strap that they sent me ages ago, and then I also replaced this in here. This is awesome. We don't stand Meta, we don't stand Facebook, but this is a good piece of hardware. Asgard's Wrath 2 is amazing. Oh my god. And I like how the controllers are, you know, I've been playing VR like every day now. Yeah, so there's that. And I'm currently waiting for my Steam Deck OLED to show up in the mail. It shows up today. And if it shows up while we're streaming, I'm going to do an unboxing. I was able to pay for it with a glitched TF2 item that I unboxed back in 2015. True story, and I might make a video about it because it's a weird story. Hi, Tyler. I found a former Valve employee YouTube channel, Chet Falasek. Do you know him, and are any of his insights about Valve and the gaming industry being quickly outdated? Or do you think as someone who actually worked at Valve, he could tell us more about Valve stuff now? Okay, interesting question. I streamed with Chet 3 weeks ago. I've been friends with, well, Me and Chet have this bit where we act like we hate each other, and it's totally just a bit, even though we continue to work together. Yeah, Falasek, I met Falasek years ago when he asked me to find him a place to get fresh soft-shell crab in Ohio over Twitter DMs. Yeah, Chet's cool. I'm sure his perspective on how Valve operates and what Valve does is still very much in line with reality due to the fact that Chet is still very much friends with many people still at Valve, including his like best friend in the whole world, Eric Wolpaw, even though they, once you become professional partners, you kind of start drifting away. Jamie Heineman doesn't even like Adam Savage. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Eradium, Tyler, thoughts on Valve possibly allowing Gary to make player-made games on Sandbox also be released standalone games on Steam? Well, it lines up with what Valve promised back in 2015 when they stated that not only would the Source Engine be free, but Valve wouldn't take a percentage cut from it as long as you release on Steam. It's very much in line with what they wanted to do with Source 2, but didn't because they're Valve. Be right back. Shout out to anybody at Valve who packaged my Steam Deck that made it so easy to peel off the stickers on the box so I can show the box off without showing any of my personal information. So my Steam Deck's here. I've been using the original Steam Deck, which a fan generously donated to the show back in 22. My Steam Deck is here. Still to this day, love that Valve does this on their boxes. So back in 2015, maybe 2016, it was when I was in my first apartment. I moved out in 2015. Back in the day, I was doing a Team Fortress 2 stream, and somebody gifted me a key. Either that or I bought the key, I don't remember. And I used the key to unbox a crate. It happened to be on the one day, the 1 hour period back in 2015 or 2016 where you had a chance to unbox a unique Strange. So it's a Strange weapon. It's a weapon that counts your kills. It's a weapon that counts your kills, but it's still yellow. Like it's a unique item that isn't Strange. And I unboxed the Enforcer, the Spy primary. And it came up as Strange the Enforcer in yellow. There's a clip of me uncrating it. I'm going to do a very basic search. Nope. I don't feel like looking for it either. So there is a Twitch clip out there. Yeah, so that's sat in my inventory for 8 years. And then I was having a conversation with somebody, and they had mentioned how they had sold or they had purchased a unique strange for like $500, $600. And I'm like, what's a unique strange? And I realized that's what I had. And so I posted on Twitter, like, how much is this? Like, is this worth anything? And people were like, holy shit, yes. And people got in contact, and I took the highest bidder, and I used they sent me hundreds and hundreds of keys, and then I sold the keys on the community market and bought this directly using the Steam wallet funds that I was able to get from selling this Strange the Enforcer. So that item, this glitched TF2 item that I unboxed, by sheer coincidence back in 2015 or 2016, bought me oh yeah, it should be stated, this is a top of the line model. This is the 1 terabyte with the etched screen and everything. This is top. This is like with tax like $700. So first we have the power brick, which has the companion cube. Well, it has a portal cube on it. An electric cube. What is this? Blue portals? Shout outs to the people who give a shit. Yeah, so is this just the exact same charger? 1 power adapter. That looks to be the exact same charger. I could be wrong. And there's a piece of paper in here. Oh, there's a health and safety, maintenance, regulatory, and limited warranty agreement information. If someone were to donate $1,000, I would read this entire thing in the VNN voice with Holmes music in the background. I would read the entire Steam Deck health and safety, maintenance, regulatory, and limited warranty and agreement information, the English section, because I think this is in 3 languages. Pretty thick little booklet. Could be a funny meme. Gotta pay for a wedding. So there's the box that came in, and then the Steam Deck itself. Yeah, keep in mind, no credit card information was utilized to purchase this. It was all just selling keys on the Steam community market. And then once the money, like, hit the number that I needed, you know. Right now? Yeah, right now. Screw it. Let's turn this episode into something awful. So, yeah. Comes in this. It's got a special case. Here's my normal Steam Deck case. Right? There's that. I don't want to tear it, but I'm probably going to have to. If you do it, the VOD for the stream must be left public. That's a deal. That's embossed. That's raised. That's like some plastic that's like... This was printed on. This is like something that'll probably fall off. Okay, so it has a security tag that says Valve. That I need to cut. Let me get scissors. That's kind of funny. That wasn't on my first one. Oh, it has a Velcro bit. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. It has a, I think that's just a chamois cloth or something. Shimmy cloth, what's it called? So, yeah, let me. There it goes. Does it have peelies? Doesn't look like there's any peelies. Oh, this feels different. I like how these analog sticks feel. OLED screen. OLED screen. This feels crispy, man. I like it. Yeah, so there's my Steam Deck. It came with this. What is this for? Is this for the charger or something? What is this for? It's a Valve branded little case. Give away the old one on stream? No. I have use for the old one. I like how for the OLED they were like, nah, red now. Nah, we're red now. This is a Steam Deck, all right. Anywho. Yeah, so my Steam Deck is here. Thank you so much. Did I miss any super chats while I was here? Oh, no, I did not. I answered all of them properly. Okay, on to the next question. Hey, Tyler, I found this former Valve employee, Chet Falasek. We answered that already. Tyler, looking great. Wait, how did we end up backwards? Did you just send the question twice? You did. Okay. Would love to hear your workout routine. How was your first experience going to the gym? You and Simple Flips are huge inspirations to start doing something with myself, but the nerd in me really doesn't want to go to the gym. XD, any tips? Good luck on your gym streak. Thank you. Tips for the gym. Well, Hugo said he was in a meeting and it's okay. Okay, well, I'm going to call you then. Go. Come on, Hughie. Come on, Hughie. Damn it!
Leave him alone. He's at work.
Still in meeting.
They're being weird.
Damn it. Okay.
You don't even have anything important to tell him.
No. No, I don't. I was just going to be like, Sonic with a gun's real, right? He's going to be like, yeah, I'm Hugo Martin. So my workout routine, I stagger it. One day, it's just cardio. The next day, it's weights and cardio. When I just do cardio, I like exercise bikes. Cranked up as high as they go that I can handle. Do that for an hour. I try and get my heart rate up to like 160. Not the whole time, but like up and down, up and down, up and down. And then working out, I like pin machines. I'm not to the point where I'm confident with free weights yet. Pin machines are the things where it's like all the stuff and you put a pin into the weight you want to actually use. And I say a whole bunch of different things. I do a whole bunch of different things with a focus on this area. So I'm focusing on belly fat and weight loss, toning, looking better, kind of. Not getting muscles, just looking better. So any kind of crunching machines, legs, chest, back, that kind of stuff. And you just have to look around at the machines to see what part of the body the machine does. And you try and do, I try and go for like 4 or 5 different machines, 3 to 4 sets of 10 or 20, depending on the machine. That's what I do. And I try and go every day. It's not possible, especially when you have a family and a life and people that want your time. And going to the gym is annoying, you know, like it takes up so much of my time, especially considering it's like it's like 17, 18 minutes from my house. And also I hate my gym. I hate my gym. If you live, well, no, but I hate my gym. My gym sucks. It smells. It's a sausage fest. I hate it. Everything's broken. But yeah, yesterday was day 70. How long each day? It depends. Usually an hour. If it's a weightlifting day, I do half-hour cardio, half-hour weights. But we usually go longer than that. And then if it's just a strict cardio day, then it's an hour, you know. And what do I want to improve about the gym? I would like it to not smell terrible, and I would like all the machines to work. That's all I want. Is that too much to ask? Can the machines please work? Anyways, yeah, and then in terms of like getting inspired to do it, I wouldn't be inspired to go to the gym if Electra wasn't here. It was Electra that pushed me to do it. So, how much is the gym a month? I think it's like, I don't actually know. Because Electra does pay for it.
It's like 67 or something.
Jesus Christ, it's like $60 a month. Yeah.
It's a health club.
It's a health club, but it sucks. Not worth the money. Should just be going to Planet Fitness or whatever. Even though Planet Fitness tries to make you gain weight as much as possible. It's a whole thing. Hello, Tyler. I bought Cyberpunk 2077 during the winter sale, and oh god, it's good. Oh, it's almost like you should listen to Tyler once in a while. What's the story behind DLC 2's cancellation? CDPR did an amazing job with Phantom Liberty. I want more. I want more. Take my money. Yeah, it wasn't really a cancellation. It was a change of plans following the botched launch. So there were plans for most of development of Cyberpunk that there would be like 4 or 5, like many expansion packs, right? And when the launch happened and they realized after a few months that they couldn't solve everything with just a few patches, and then they restructured the company and they started, you know, not crunching at all and changing philosophy at the company, 2 things happened. Number one, because they're not crunching, stuff isn't getting done as fast. It just isn't. Number 2, they completely changed their playtesting pipeline. Whereas before, you would have these separate builds of the game that all had different focuses because the teams were so disjointed and segmented and there was very little communication between each of the teams, and that's how you ended up with Cyberpunk. Now they always had a playable build that was up to date for everyone, and it was checked out like at the end of every day. That made the game significantly more stable, way better in the long run, but take longer to develop. So yeah. So that's the long short of it. Oh, okay, right. So DLC 2. So the first of all, it's EP. DLCs were the small stuff, you know, new guns, a new car, that kind of thing. EP is the expansion pack, and expansion pack 1 was always Phantom Liberty. What became Phantom Liberty? Hello, you got one of the first Steam. Oh, it just said hello. You got one of the first Steam Deck OLED models. Please update your firmware. Yeah, so the whole idea of expansion pack 1 being related to Pacifica and a Netrunner and the President was always in the plans. Expansion pack 2 was supposed to take you to the moon. So at some point in development, 2018, I want to say, there was a version of the game where the whole last third of the game wasn't even taking place in Night City. It took place on the moon and at the Crystal Palace. The Crystal Palace is that massive luxury orbital space station thing. And funny enough, if you've watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners, some of the shots of the moon are traceovers from the actual game files of the map, because you can line up some of the shots to the leaked beta, the leaked thing that came out shortly after the game released. And then expansion pack 3 and expansion pack 4, no one knows anything about. I would guess Arasaka Waterfront and Badlands related, but who knows. 5 pounds, any updates related to Half-Life Borealis? Are you talking about Project Borealis? Because I did have a conversation with Mastercoms about it. There is something happening, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. Simple as that. But thank you for the 5 pounds. Yeah, so to answer your question, the story behind expansion pack 2's cancellation is that when they changed how they operate, all of their pre-production plans for the game had to get thrown out because, well, the company is operating in a completely different capacity. So all of these original plans they're impossible. They don't work. So hopefully that answers your question. Episode 2, expansion pack 2, is supposed to take place on the Crystal Palace, and a little bit on the moon. That part isn't as that's not as confirmed, right? Crystal Palace is. And yeah, thank you for your question. Hello, Tyler. Hi, Tyler. Ethan from England. Questions. England isn't real. Don't lie to me. I remember a while ago you said there were some third-party TF2 projects in development. Did they fizzle out? No, it is still in development. It is called Team Deathmatch Classic. However, following a couple of meetings or something behind the scenes, they've kind of changed their art style a bit to be a little less TF2. There's that. Also, any updates on Neon Prime? Nothing since I canceled the video to protect a source. Also, HLX, absolutely nothing. What is your opinion on the Steam VR 2.0 UI update? And when's your I was super wrong about the Steam Deck video coming out? I think the Steam VR 2.0 UI update is fine. It's pretty much just Steam OS, but in a 3D environment. It's fine. I like it. Whatever. And then, it's okay. I think there isn't a single good... I think Steam VR in general isn't very good in terms of its UI, but neither is the Quest. Neither is Oculus Home. And Windows, don't get me started on Windows Mixed Reality. So, I don't know. Developing a user interface for VR controllers where you're effectively just using laser pointers the whole time is annoying, and I don't know how you would end up doing it. And I was super wrong about the Steam Deck video. Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot, and sooner rather than later. Yeah. When do you think the next Valve game will release? Early next year, if I had to guess. I'm not following Valve as closely as I used to, but I've heard they've been doing some uncharacteristic things in recent times. One example would be the 25th anniversary of Half-Life, where they released an hour-long documentary about its history and development. I've come to understand throwbacks like this aren't exactly Valve's favorite, so I'm wondering what might have changed internally for these things to occur. Are different people in charge of decisions like this, or were they just change of heart? Neither. It's the younger employees all wanted to do something, and the older employees allowed it. Simple as that. The older employees are just because a lot of Valve's younger workforce, a good chunk of Valve's workforce, were teenagers or children, or not even, teenagers and children when Half-Life 1 came out. right? And so being able to celebrate a game like that, likely the game that a lot of the employees that currently work there see as either a reason to get into the industry or a reason that they're working at Valve, yes, a good chunk of people internally would want to celebrate that. And it's because these things are getting so old now that you have situations like that. And there aren't really that many remaining people that were there for the development of Half-Life 1. You know? You have Dave Riller, you have Robin Walker, Dario left, like, you know, it's whatever. And I do think that they would do something similar for Half-Life 2's 20th. Yes. On the same scale, who knows? But I do think they're going to do something for Half-Life 2's 20th anniversary. £2. Do you think VR, as in VR in general, is dying down? I think VR as a gaming platform is dying down, and the rise of productivity-based virtual reality systems are rising up. And I don't like it, but it's whatever. What can you do? Is the Neon Prime leak from your source good? Like good news? Also play Fish On? That's £5 from Oops-a-Daisy? Yes, it's very interesting news. Good is subjective because it's game design stuff. And, you know, some people are going to love Neon Prime. Some people are going to hate Neon Prime. Some people will be indifferent about Neon Prime. Some people will play the game and not really enjoy it because they have friends that like Neon Prime. Neon Prime is just a video game. Anywho. Do you know if they'll ever add those supposed community fixes? That's what this Linux beta build is. I probably should have said that in the video, huh? Yes, that's what the thing is. The thing that just happened. That's what that is. So I have this Steam Deck in my hands. Oh my god, this display is way better. Good lord. And it's a 90 hertz refresh rate too. Wow. This is freaking great. Any news on the Deckard? No. I wonder, if I download a game, will my stream get all weird? What's a recent game I've been playing? Anywho. I hope that answered your question. A fan of TF2 and Linux user here. Hello. Will the new 64-bit build of TF2 have any graphical improvements, or is it just performance? Graphical improvements based on bug fixes, not any graphical performance based on trying to make the graphics look better. And it's a significant performance boost, especially if you're using Linux-based systems. You got EmuDeck set up on the OLED? It literally just came in the mail. So no. However, I am going to install... it's the Metroidvania roguelike game where you're like a soul that lives in a clothes. What is that game called? I've been playing it a lot lately. Does anybody know what that game is called? I want to say Dead something? Dead something? Not Hollow Knight. No. Someone help me. I hate the delay. I hate the delay. Dead Cells. Thank you. Yes, it's Dead Cells. That's what I've been playing lately. All right. Dead Cells. Thank you. £2. Your favorite RPG, i.e. Final Fantasy. So JRPG. Favorite JRPG is Persona 4 Golden. Very excited for Persona 3 Reload. Other than that, I really enjoy... I liked Octopath Traveler, kinda. Paper Mario, Mario RPG, obviously. You know, and then of course a lot of Western RPGs I love. How many FPS can you gain from this? About a 30% improvement across the board based on some very rough testing. Is this better news for Linux users than Windows users? Well, Linux users will see more performance gains, yeah, but the move to 64-bit is more than just performance improvements or graphical bug fixes and things. It's also removing a lot of limits for map makers and things, and server hosts and server runners and things like that. You know, stability. Are these tests directed towards the Steam Deck? Well, some of these moves are very much to get the game verified on the Steam Deck. Yeah. Yes. It would be weird how well... I don't know how well you could play TF2 on that. People already do. And you could do, like, flick stick stuff. You can do, gyro aiming stuff. There are some interesting controller profiles that people have made that... definitely don't bring it up to mouse and keyboard, but are very good. Anywho. I hope you're doing well. Letting off steam or two ago, I challenged you to bet on the appearance of vehicles in the GTA 6 trailer, given the count of GTA 5s. Literally a day later, the trailer dropped early. I forgot to count last stream. Lol. I am now here to present you with the results. You bet 112 trucks. There were less than that. More than 2 bicycles. I guess 2 bikes, 4 planes, 2 helicopters, 1 rideable boat, and 1 surfboard, and no golf carts, and less than 4 blimp appearances. Oh, I guessed less than 112, more than 2, less than 4, more than 2, more than 2. The results was that more of every category except only 1 blimp and 0 golf carts. There were 340 trucks, 34 motorbikes, 10 planes, 8 helicopters, 57 rideable boats, and 3 surfboards. Frankly, I thought it was crazy that you thought there would be less cars, but as it turns out, there were 3 times as many cars than in the GTA 5 trailer. One of the more interesting bits about the trailer was how larger types of boats seem to be rideable, more like a yacht or casino-sized ships in the past GTAs that would be static. If I had to guess, the water is going to be much more important space in 6 than past entries. I would assume so too, given the location. I would also like to point out that you pointed out no golf carts, which was bold and deserved credits. Deserved credit. I'll donate to your channel something for your reward. Thank you. And you did. I'm just now seeing it. If you have any better insight, my sandbox question is if Gary's plan is to license hammer tools from Valve. They're kind of making their own tools. Gary is very demanding in terms of what he wants out of Sandbox, and a lot of that comes out of just kind of not liking Valve's own code in a lot of ways. Like, read some of the tweets this dude does. So a lot of the tools that Gary's been developing are kind of forked off of Valve's thing, but not actually Valve's thing, if that makes sense. Hey, Ty Dog. Yo, what up? Sorry if you've been asked this lately, just came to stream. When did you think the whole X64 TF2 thing will come out of beta or release for Windows? Also, what are your thoughts on a... Let me answer your first question, and then we'll ask the second question. When do I think the X64 build of TF2 will come out of beta? It's going to be a while. It's going to be a long while, because you've got to bring it up to feature parity with the build. There's a lot of... Probably fall or winter. It'll be a while. Now, your other question. Also, what are your thoughts on a potential pregnancy mode for Team Fortress 2? Well, this will be tough. Because canonically, 8 of the 9 classes are male with no uteri. The Pyro could canonically have a uterus. However, if Valve could just say, screw it, all of them have deuteruses, if you will. At that point, I could see the game turning into something like H-Doom. Like, you'd have to prove your age or something, but there would be like a special game mode. Nothing. There'd be like a special game mode like H-Doom where if you dominate a player, then you can impregnate them or something. It's possible. What do I think of it? I think it's definitely possible, and it could be very popular with the Team Fortress 2 audience if my interactions with them are any indication of what they are like in real life. Yeah. Pregnancy mode for TF2 would definitely be something interesting and something that I would play. Because I've definitely played H-Doom and Fap Life. I'm not reading that. I'm not doing a sponsor with kid light up shoes. Since id is working on a Sonic game with firearms, is it related to the Sonic X Shadow Generations name leak? Also, I really want a racing game of the Portal franchise. I didn't know that Sonic X Shadow Generations leaked. Yeah, that's the id Software. That's Sonic with a gun right there. In your stream where you explored cut TF2 maps, you said maybe you'd make a video on the history of Badwater. Is that video still happening? Gonna be real with you. Forgot I said that, but I'd love to make videos like that. It's just making videos on the cut content of Valve, I am very wary about. Just got to the stream at work and I'm typing as fast as I can. Have you discussed the Sonic X Shadow Generations leak that happened and supposedly we'll get stuff from today? A remaster of Sonic Generations with some extra content potentially releasing around the movie. Shadow is going to be a big part of the film. Direct tie-in, don't know. Yeah, we just talked about it, but thank you for the question. Why do you think Valve ended up this way? They don't release games. They got the open-ended policy of Valve doesn't really lend itself well to a company of a certain size. And Valve passed that size following the release of Portal 2. Valve is about 300 to 350 full-time employees at any given time, and that's too many for the open floor plan model. Not only that, but Steam started making so much money, and they weren't beholden to any publisher that they didn't have to do anything. And so they don't. Are you going to make another video of TF2 lost content? I probably will. But it's just, that kind of stuff makes me nervous sometimes. Is this pre-recorded? Yeah, it is. Just curious if you clarify, when you say Sonic with a gun is a gritty reboot, is it going to take place within its own continuity or will it be connected? I don't know anything about Sonic with a gun lore, aside from there will be a villain named after my wife, whom is named Electra, my fiance. Sega and Ian Flynn have, as of late, been trying hard to establish a solid continuity between almost all games, spin-offs included. And even if the Sonic published comics from IDW and the Sonic Prime show are considered canon in the games. So I would assume that Sega would want Sonic with a gun to be canonical. So exactly how you make a violent Sonic the Hedgehog with firearms a canon part of your series, I don't know. That's up to id Software and Sega to figure out. I was wondering what are the do's and don'ts of modding when it comes to Valve games and their IPs? Don't make anything related to their franchises in an engine that isn't owned by them. That's it. If you're making a mod in their engine and they have control over the engine, you're usually fine. Sandbox doesn't count. You missed the dono about the G-Man. Sorry. What's your opinion of the G-Man in Half-Life? He's my dad. Thank you for the £2. Hey, Tyler, I love your vids. Wondering if you thought about the Focus Entertainment having their name being changed. I don't know anything about this. I know nothing about this. Hey, Tyler, could you make a video about the terrible state of TF2 Workshop? Oh, it's the Lombax guy? Right. I'm not going to read it. Keep trying, man. You got to keep working at it. It's just kind of how it goes, man. You got to keep working at it. Hey, Tyler, what's happening with Sims and those Sims-like games, Life by You and Paralives? Do you know anything about them? Are you excited about the future of Sims games? Do I know anything about them? A lot. It's interesting you asked that. Electra and I are huge fans of the Sims franchise. Electra's a bigger fan than I am because she plays a hell of a lot more than I get to. However, Sims 4 is the worst of the Sims games, in my opinion. I think they peaked in Sims 2. If you care most about how just the animations and the attention to detail in Sims 2, man. Anyways, Life by You and Paralives are two different games that are separate from all of this. They're separate companies. They're trying to compete in the life simulation genre, and I'd love to see it. Unfortunately, I don't think that they have a leg to stand on currently. So Life by You is the one by Paradox, and they've already delayed it once, and the game looks very feature-rich and in-depth, but also jank as hell. If there's something I can say about The Sims 4, it doesn't look jank. Oh, it definitely plays jank, but it looks good. Life by You looks really weird. Paralives, on the other hand, is an indie team that's been working on this thing for like a decade, and I do not foresee it coming out anytime soon. Life by You is a better chance. There's also the South Korean one. I think it's called Inoi. Inoi or something like that. Which looks a bit like it looks like the best one of all the competitors, and that's apparently launching this year. So I do.
It looks better.
Yeah.
The gameplay doesn't look good.
No, I'm talking graphically speaking. It looks good. The gameplay looks incredibly simplistic and very limited. Life by You has the best looking gameplay. Has the best looking gameplay in terms of like the in-depthness of the systems. But it looks like it doesn't look good. 5 pounds. What happened to your relationship with Japanese Bush Baby? The January 6th riot. He made some tweets at the time that seemed like he was in support of it, and I was like, I'm not working with you anymore. Inzoi, that's what it's called. There might have been a misunderstanding involved, but then I learned more about the person. We just, political differences. As for the future of The Sims, oh god. So Sims 4, for those unaware, has like 1,000 expansion packs now, and has already been out into the world for over 10 years. For 10 years as of this year. And I'd say every time an expansion pack comes out, there were 3 last year, plus a stuff pack and a whole bunch of kits. You're looking at like a 50% chance that it's actually going to work. And if EA and Maxis and The Sims end up releasing a broken pack, such as, the Wedding Stories pack or the High School pack, they're never going to fix it. They'll never go back and fix it because new content sell, old content already sold. So, yeah, and we're stuck with The Sims 4 for a significantly longer amount of, a lot longer, because it's selling so well. It's doing so well that, like...
Tyler, will you stop doing that in the microphone?
I have something in my throat. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Sorry, I got scolded for clearing my throat. Let me just do a big one with it muted. Electra was getting mad at me earlier for sneezing too loud. Right? Were you getting mad at me for sneezing too loud, Boo Bear?
If anyone on there has ever lived with someone who sneezes as loud as you do.
I'm afraid to sneeze in my own house now. Help.
You do it so loud. There's no reason. There's this YouTuber I watch, and that's his number one thing he hates about his wife is how loud she sneezes.
You gonna divorce me over it? Is it a deal breaker? It's not. I'm gonna keep sneezing. What was I talking? Okay, so Sims 4 is going to continue getting expansion packs for the foreseeable future. There is no Sims 5. If you follow Sims development, you know that there's another game in development called Project Renee. That is not a Sims game. That is an MMO who's going to try and sell you as much as humanly possible. That is not Sims 5. It is... It's like... it's a multiplayer... cross-platform test bed of monetization strategies. It is not a traditional Sims game at all. But thank you for asking. I do love The Sims. I love to complain about The Sims. My question is this. What can you tell us about Steam TV? It's a service that Valve offers developers to be able to stream directly onto the game pages of many newly released video games. Is the console that will be a power equivalent to current generations or mainly streaming devices without an internal GPU? Is the Steam... Oh, are you talking about the console? There's very little info about the console in terms of specs. But, like, I have no new news past the video that I made. Will it have some connection to the Steam Deck? Yes. Do you think Valve wants TF2 to die since they literally abandoned it to die? Would you want something to die if you abandoned it to die? If you were like, I don't care if they die, does that mean you want them to die? I don't know. That's up to you, man. Will Sonic with a gun have a battle pass or a battle royale? I have no idea. There's been a lot of talk. There has been a lot of talk about this I've seen. Can you say / do you know for sure if last year's summer update will continue to happen every year, or was it a one-off? Well, it'll definitely happen this year. I can't say if it'll be every year. Not the cosmetics, war paints, unusuals, the maps. Is creating maps for TF2 Workshop worth it? I'm a beginner creator currently, and I wish they get at least one map in the game before it, dies. You've probably seen my work in the TF2 Workshop already. Dust 2 style map, something else. I have seen that. Not going to promote it much. Good job so far. Is it worth it? Well, it's definitely something you can put on a resume. And you do make money from it. I don't know. I'm not a creator, so I don't know the percentage difference between somebody that gets a hat or somebody that gets a map in the game. You would assume the map makes more, but this is TF2. Who knows? But yeah. I mean, I hope that answers your question. Does it? Yeah, it's absolutely worth it if you like the game. 100%. No reason to feel like it's not. It's good. Anything else I could tell you? I could say, don't worry about the review score on the Steam Workshop. It doesn't seem like Valve really pays attention to that because they're very aware of, botted downvoting and things. If you're ever wanting to play test, I've been thinking about doing something I don't know. It's definitely worth it, but it doesn't matter. It's definitely worth it. Yeah, stick with it, man. Definitely. A lot of people have gotten into the industry because they had maps introduced into TF2 at some point. I love that. Hello, Tyler. Should Scout's pants be blue? Yes, if they are on blue team. Thank you for the question. TF2 Toes update release date. So there was a rumor last year, we made a video about it, where Valve was likely to be updating the player models of the 9 classes, allowing users to not only have more slots to equip compatible cosmetics, but also remove certain cosmetics like glasses, headwear, and shoes. So we called that the TF2 Toes update because, well, now we get to look at everybody's feet, you freaking pervs. But as of now, there is no new information about the TF2 Toes update because I just made that all up. Moving on. What are your opinions on Gary's tools and changes to Source 2? I think Gary is a perfectionist and is striving to be able to create the best version of that engine in his opinion, and that's admirable. However, I also think due to that perfectionistic tendency, Sandbox is going to take a very, very long time to be a finished product. And it's possible that by the time it's a finished product, the industry has moved on. So who knows? What's your dream update for TF2? It's exactly what I talked about earlier. A throwback update, OG season, turn off cosmetics, stock weapons only, and stuff based on cut content from the original development cycle. So figuring out how to get that catcher's mitt working, or, the tranquilizer gun, things like that. Yeah. Last but not least, can I have my liver back over my dead body? Can you make a 25-minute video about My Hero Academia Ultra Rumble, please? Thanks, I appreciate it. No. Apologies. I don't own the game, number 1. I don't want the game, number 2. Number 3, I don't think I've seen the new season of My Hero. And number 4, what a weird request. No, I'm not going to make it 20. Why 25 minutes in particular? Do you have a general estimate as to when we'll be seeing an acknowledgement or announcement of Neon Prime? Nothing. I mean, it's a guess. I'm guessing when I try and put a date on it. Fall. We'll hear about it in the fall. Many people seem to feel as though melee weapons function a lot of games are antiquated these days. People don't like the functional, very basic short-range hit scan. Agree. I'm curious if you have any ideas on how to solve this. It's been tried so many times, man. Obsidian tried, or they're trying in Avowed. It's got to be almost like a rhythm game in a way. Taking inspiration from third-person melee stuff. You need a proper dodge, you need a proper parry. And I feel like with that kind of stuff, it's a lot better. Obviously, the dream is to have a third-person hitbox attached to your first-person character that can dynamically change the hit reactions to a melee weapon. I think the biggest issue that you have when it comes to melee, in my opinion, is feedback. Because you can't, or you couldn't for the longest time, dynamically change the model, like lacerations and stuff on a model in real time. I'm sure you could now, and I feel like for it to best do that, for it to best feel good in first person, you would need some a lot better in terms of, modernized in terms of reaction, in my opinion. Thank you for the question. Hey, Sega News Network. Hey, that's not me. I wanted to ask something similar behind the budget Sega gave id for the new game. Ever since Sammy acquired Sega Sonic games, they've been starting to make a smaller budget since Sega Sammy didn't see Sonic as a gaming icon but as a hero of the children. Also, will id add Sammy's pachinko machines like in Yakuza? I don't foresee id Software adding pachinko machines in Sonic with a Gun. I will say that it is very cool to see Sega Classic Sonic, Sammy Classic Sonic fan finally getting the recognition that they deserve after they have purchased Sonic and Sega. I would say that Sonic is the hero of the children, but I will say that questions like this, conversations like this, where we try and predict games that have significantly higher budgets or higher scopes or things, only to be let down because our own interpretations of things or our own perspective or our own anticipation was incorrect, is bad for the industry as a whole, because it creates this culture of rage based on nothing in particular, based on no actual fact. And I think it's Sammy who's pioneering the idea of making sure that people are learning from these mistakes, from these past letdowns based on like a vacuum of information, you know. Because like we need to be able to learn from past mistakes. It's like when will all of you learn? You know, when will the industry learn that their actions have consequences? You know, and that's what I have to say about that. Hey Tyler, any news on Ricochet 2? It isn't real. Any news on id Software in the Doom series? Sonic with a Gun. Any news on a Half-Life project or a VR-related project? Neon Prime is the main game in development. Deckard is the main piece of hardware in development. That's everything we've got. And that is caught up. That's all of them. Thanks so much, guys. Looking at the chat only right now. However, I have like quite a long delay between what you see and what I say. Someone just found my fake Beatles stereo box set video that I made back in 2010. It's the very first video I ever made to get over 1,000 views. This video went up on November 18th, 2010. I dislike you for showing me this. Hey everybody. Tyler McVicker, passionate gamer here. We got the Steam Deck during the stream. This is the 1 terabyte Steam Deck OLED with the anti-glare screen. It's loading up dead cells. It's loading up dead cells. It's HDR compatible, right? Like that's an HDR screen, right? Right? Because of the smaller nanometer process, you can overclock this thing a hell of a lot further than you could the base configuration using cryo tools. Are the Dector predictions still accurate? Are they still accurate today? Unknown. You'd have to ask Bradley about that one. You mentioned melee combat being rhythm-based. Have I played Hi-Fi Rush? Hi-Fi Rush is second place game of the year for last year. Tyler, make sure you don't buy cheap envelopes for your wedding invitations, lest we forget the Costanza couple from the mid-90s. That's true. Boo Bear. Boo Bear. We need to make sure we don't cheap out on envelopes for the invitations. There was a woman who died getting poisoned from the glue in the envelope because they bought cheap envelopes. That actually happened.
In real life?
No, on Seinfeld.
So it didn't actually happen.
I don't know. Do you think Valve cares about AR or nah? I mean, maybe. Seems to be a big buzzword these days. Augmented reality, mixed reality, reality's terrible. You know how it is. Me when the bros want to talk about reality. Stop it, bros. I don't like it. Thoughts on the Wii U? Couldn't think of a good question. I liked the Wii U. Kind of. It was okay. That is a Wii U right there. That right there is a Wii U. It's a Wii U. Will you get broccoli hair? No. Is CS2 dead? No. Is you dead? I don't think so. Hopefully not. Do you think VR has a future, or will we switch back to desktop? They can exist simultaneously, and yes, I think VR has a future. However, not in a predominantly gaming-based field. Tyler, where'd you put my liver? I ate it with a nice Chianti and some fava beans. Also, is it true that you turn around and spread in your marriage for the photos? Are you asking me if I'm going to spread my butt cheeks for my photos at my wedding? That is personal family business and is none of yours. Does your Wii U gamepad hold a charge? Yes. Who do you think? Valve or Nintendo was worse? Nintendo was way worse than Valve. VR died when Meta bought and killed all those companies. Didn't die. Definitely didn't help. Thoughts on the Manco store? Was copied bar for bar to make the Portal 2 co-op store. Thoughts on that? I don't know. They did that. They did do that. What's your favorite Beatles member solo album? That'd be Ram by Paul McCartney. Do you think Gabe will show up to your wedding? Yes. Yes, I do. All right, everybody. I think that's enough. I have a doctor's appointment in 15 minutes anyways, so I'll talk to you all later. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the State of Play thing. I'm going to be at a virtual doctor's appointment, so I won't be watching. I love you guys. Peace and hair grease. Talk to y'all later. Thanks so much for checking out Letting Off Steam this month. And I will see you on the flippity flop. Bye-bye.